Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer, and in this tutorial, which is the 9th Visual C# 2010 Express tutorial, we're going to be looking at conditional operators. Now, if you've seen my Visual Basic series, you'll notice some similarities in how I'm going throughout the tutorials. That's because I wanted to keep it the same, and I feel that the last teaching method for Visual Basic on the New Boston channel worked really well, so I'm going to stick with that. It'll change later on as we get farther in, but for now it's going to be relatively similar to the structure and what I teach. So basically what conditional operators are is it's comparing numbers to see if one is greater than the other or if one is less than the other. And you may hear my fan really loud during this tutorial. That's because I am encoding the previous tutorial, which is tutorial 8. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is what is left over from the last one. We'll just go ahead and get rid of this because we don't need it. But we'll leave the console.readline at the end so I don't forget that. So let's come up here, and I'm going to use an example that I think I've seen on the New Boston. I've seen it somewhere. And it works really well for teaching conditional operators. So let's create a number. So we'll call it int age, and we'll set it equal to console.readline. But the user needs to know what they're putting in. Okay, hold on. We need to say console.writeLine, and we'll say how old are you. Okay, so you can see we're getting an error here. Now what it says cannot implicitly convert type string to int. Now what that means is that console.readline returns a string to whoever calls it, and in this instance we're calling it, and by calling it we're setting it equal to the variable age, which is of type int, which is a number type, and it's not of type string. So what we need to do is we need to convert this to an integer. So we'll do console.readline dot, and you can see we get a whole list of functions that we can use. Now we've used this before with our toLower function, but now what we're going to do is we're going to change it into an int. So let's see here. Looks like that's not in here, so we're going to have to do this a different way. Sorry about that. We're going to start by typing convert dot, and you can see we get a whole bunch of stuff. We just want to convert it to an int 32, which is basically just an int. So convert dot to int 32, whatever is sent back from console.readline. We don't want to uint, we want to int 32. So whatever they type in, whatever is returned by console.readline is going to be converted to an integer so that we can use it with the value age, or the variable age, I mean. So now we'll do if age equals 21, then we'll just say you can, or can't do that, console.writeLine, you can legally drink. And now if we run this, that's all going to work fine. But we want to learn conditional operators. So what if the user is older than 21? Well, then it's not going to tell them that they can legally drink because it only checks to see if it's 21. So what we need to do is type if age is greater than 21. But there's a problem with this. We're saying if age is greater than 21. Now you should recognize this symbol from math class. You learned this a long time ago, thinking like 5th grade, 4th grade. So if age is greater than 21, it's going to say you can legally drink. But this means what it says, greater than 21. So it cannot equal 21. So this is saying they have to be 22. Now we can either fix this by changing that to 20, which would work, or we can do something a lot easier and it makes the code a lot easier to read later on. So if age is greater than or equal to 21, So we're just using greater than or equal to, which is pretty much the same as the greater than sign with a line under it that you learned in math class. So it's going to say you can legally drink. Now what we need to do is we need to type else if age is less than 21, then we'll just tell them they can't. Console dot write line, you cannot legally drink. Okay, so now that we've got that done, let's go ahead and run it. So it'll say, how old are you? And if I put, let's say 32, it says you can legally drink because it's looking for a number that's larger than or equal to 21. So we can type in whatever number we want. We could type in, let's say we're 234 years old. It'll say we can still legally drink. Now, if we type anything below 21, let's say 20, the program's going to crash because we didn't do error handling or exception handling, which we'll learn about later on. But for now, make sure you just type in numbers. So we type in 20, it says you cannot legally drink, and we can type in anything. We can type in 5, it says you cannot legally drink. So basically, the conditional operators that you need to remember are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So go ahead and practice with those. Use them with integers, use them with doubles, use them with any primitive data type that is a number. You can't use it with string or character or boolean, but practice that with numbers, and once you've got that down, go ahead and move on to the next tutorial.